Welcome to the May edition of the Joy News Prime with me, Samuel Kojo. Coming up this hour, President Akufo-Addo reiterates his government's commitment to improving the working conditions of the labor workforce as workers mark May Day.
Government hereby reiterates its resolve to address the concerns of labor in the interest of national development.
He assures that power will be restored to, end the intermittent power outages. Meanwhile, ECG staff in Kumasi staged walkout on May Day event while the regional minister was delivering his speech in protest of what the workers described as the unlawful arrest of the Ashanti Regional ECG manager. Now, Trade Union Congress demands that government fix the worsening economic conditions in the country, which has left many workers economically poor because what they earn is quite lesser than what they earned some years ago. Also tonight, Civil and Local Government Staff Association vowed to resist moves by government to replace their members with political appointees. We'll hear from the group, which describes the situation as unacceptable.
With all our backs, the evasion of the civil service and the local government service by political apparatchiks and guru boys, and the Almighty God will help us.
And later in the bulletin, we'll tell you of some people who have been arrested in the Sekondi Takoradi metropolis for defecating in public. Also, police launches investigation into the shooting and death of a military officer at Millennium City in Gomoa East of the Central Region. We'll hear from the police service, which has arrested one suspect in connection to the incident. These and many more, plus business and sports, coming up. Do stay with us. Well, President Akufo-Addo has assured organized labor that the executive will work closely with the legislature to pass the new labor law this year before his tenure ends. The president is hopeful the law will help address labor dispute and set fair and appropriate wages for workers. President Akufo-Addo was addressing workers at this year's May Day celebration.
The upward adjustment of the base pay by 23% in the first half of the year and by 25% in the second half of the year is a demonstration of government's commitment to improving and protecting public sector incomes. This is being done to signal the importance government places on the welfare of workers. Chairperson, Secretary General, though today marks my final May Day address to organize labor as President of the Republic, having served by January the 7th, 2025, the constitutionally permitted allotment of 2 terms of 4 years each, I want to assure you that this, however, will not be my last encounter with organized labor.
Secretary General of the Trade Union Congress, Dr. Anthony Yao-Bad, bemoaned the low wages paid workers, particularly workers in the private sector. This, he says, translates into small pension benefits when workers go on retirement.
Comrades, we are celebrating this May Day at the time Ghanaian workers and their families are grappling with high cost of living and inflation of over 25%. Exchange rate of the cedi is now almost 14 cedis, if not more, to $1, compared to about 4 in 2016. That means workers who earned monthly salary of 1,000 Ghana cedis in 2016 were taking home the equivalent of $250. Today, 1,000 Ghana cedis is only $71 US. The depreciation of the cedi at this monumental scale, that is about 250% depreciation, represents a huge decline in living standards of Ghanaians generally and workers in particular. This is so because of our over-reliance on imported goods such as medicines, refined petroleum products, and food. Those prices are directly affected by the exchange rate of the Ghana cedi in terms of the major international currencies such as the US dollar and the pound sterling. What it means is that if we want our cities to be stable, we should reduce imports and consume what we produce in Ghana. Furthermore, as we all know very well, Ghanaian workers rely on loans to meet very basic necessities such as rent advance and our children's education. And in some cases, we even have to rely on loans for food. Today, we are paying interest rates of 30% to access loans from the banks. In the informal economy, interest rates can even be as high as 50% or even sometimes higher. Our children graduate from the universities and colleges after we have spent so much on them, but they cannot find jobs. And the trouble is that there seems to be no end of this socioeconomic hardship in sight. We were told that an IMF bailout will help, but we know that IMF bailout cannot be a solution to Ghana's economic hardship. The relatively high wage increases we negotiated for workers in the last 2 years have lost their real values. So, comrades, we have a lot of work to do to protect the working people of Ghana. Brother Chairman, let me shift our attention to the theme of this year's May Day celebration, and that is election 2024, the role of workers and social partners in securing peaceful elections for national development. As in the previous election years,
our tension erupted at the May Day parade grounds in the Ashanti region as staff of the Electricity Company of Ghana staged a walkout during the speech of the Regional Minister Simon Osei-Mensah. The agitated staff are protesting the arrest of the Ashanti East ECG manager and the subsequent refusal of the minister to apologize for causing the arrest. The leadership of the ECG Senior Staff Workers Union has vowed to halt all dealings with the minister until a case against the manager is withdrawn from the police and an official apology rendered. Clinton Yeboah was at the Deba grounds and has this report.
As the Ashanti Regional Minister ascended the podium to address the May Day parade, the ECG workers moved from the seats and walked out of the premises. They held placards with diverse inscriptions including "KSTU is not a security zone," "Stop arresting us in line of our duty," and the Ashanti region deserves quality leadership. Their action is to protest the refusal of the minister to withdraw a case against the Ashanti East manager of ECG, Mark Wiafe, for a disconnection exercise at the Kumasi Technical University over outstanding electricity debt.
Not long ago, the Ashanti Regional Minister Simon Osei-Mensah authorized for the arrest of the general manager of the Electricity Company of Ghana's Ashanti Business Unit. And on the grounds, the Deba grounds of the celebration of May Day here at the Jubilee Park, the workers of ECG have staged a walkout. They say they are not going to listen to his speech. I'll be engaging some of the workers to find out what their plights are. We understand that the regional minister has said that there is no way he is going to apologize for the arrest.
We are not going to participate or listen to whatever he will say. We are standing here. If he's done with his speech, we'll go back and enjoy the program. We've said it time and time again. We were not surprised because we've been told already that there is no way he will apologize. But we're disappointed because we thought it's a very good opportunity for him to apologize. And since that is what he wants, but we are not satisfied with a lot of allegations that he made in his press conference, and will come out. I think our attention was taken by this program, and after the program, you'll hear from us.
National Vice Chairman of the ECG Senior Staff Workers Union, Bismarck Adoma, who held the walkout, insists on boycotting any business with the
The issue is our general manager was doing his normal work and he caused his arrest, which we thought he didn't do it well. So we asked him to withdraw the case, and up to now he has not done it.
What will happen if this protest does not effect any change?
As long as he's not going to withdraw the case and then apologize to our general manager and then the workers, we are not going to do anything. This shows that we are not ready to do anything with him.
If you say you're not ready to do anything, what exactly do you?
He call us for any meeting, we will not go. He come to anywhere we are, we will leave the place, like what we have done this morning.
These are members and workers of the electricity company of Ghana. They are registering a protest saying that the Ashanti Regional Minister Simon Osei-Mensah should apologize for causing and effecting the arrest of the general manager of the Ashanti Business Unit. From Jubilee Park here in the Ashanti region, my name is Clinton Yeboah, reporting for Joy News.
Now, still on the labor front, Cocobod workers have called on government and relevant authorities to arrest cocoa smugglers and illegal miners that have destroyed most of the lands in cocoa growing areas in the country. The workers also bemoaned the high charges on their pension contributions. They want the ordinary cocoa farmer to benefit more from cocoa exports, especially now that the price of cocoa on the world market has gone up.
Challenge that we are having as a board is the issue of galamsey. Galamsey is threatening the sustainability of the cocoa industry, especially in the area that we are even planting cocoa cultivation. It is the same area that galamsey is also taking place. For instance, quite recently, Cocobod acquired a loan of $600 million to rehabilitate about 600,000 hectares of cocoa, which have been affected by the falling shoe disease. And after we have rehabilitated the cocoa and replanted the cocoa and replanted plantains to be able to give shade to cocoa, galamsey people will go back and uproot the cocoa that we have replanted.
The issue that I want to bring to attention of the entire state has to do with our pensions. And the first is the regulator charges, which is the MPRA charges on the fund. The MPRA currently charge 0.33% on the entire AUM. And some of us see it to be very high, especially in the period of the after the DDEP. Now, we all know the economy is now trying to more or less recover. So when you do investment, you won't get return that used to be. So if the regulator charges his fees on the entire AUM, it means that whether you get profit in the course of your investment period or not, you still pay the same 0.33%. So indirectly, your principal is being eroding year by year.
The smuggling of cocoa now in the country. I mean, it has become something that people are doing it at ease. It is something that is affecting the economy on an extreme level. Now you see people who are involved in the crowd. It will surprise you, people who are getting involved. We get people arrested and you see politicians interfering that these people may be released. These are concerns that we want to drum into the president's ear. Smuggling is not only Cocobod issue. Smuggling is not only Cocobod issue. Smuggling is actually a national canker. If they continue to smuggle this cocoa into our neighboring countries, it is the economy of Ghana that is going to suffer.
Now, the Civil and Local Government Staff Association CLOGSAG is unhappy with what they describe as an attempt by government to replace some of their members with political appointees. According to the Executive Secretary, Isaac Bampoado, the Civil and Local Government Service is expected to function to help continuity in the governance of the country, devoid of partisan politics. An attempt to replace members of the service with political appointees has contributed to the poor state of the economy. Mr. Bampoado was speaking at today's International Labour Day celebration here in Accra.
In this direction, it is important to refer to the Supreme Court ruling, writ number 1116/2016, dated 14th June 2017, that with every guaranteed human right under the Constitution comes an overriding responsibility, which is toward the public interest or greater good. It is for this reason that the framers of the 1992 Constitution placed limitations on the exercise of some human rights by certain classes of persons, including members of the civil service and the local government service. These services have been long hallowed institutions whose utility lie entirely in their presumed anonymity, neutrality, and permanence. From one political administration to the next, the civil service and the local government service are expected to remain in place, functioning in a professional manner to assure continuity and process integrity in the administration of day-to-day governance. Since 2017, CLOSAS has continued to draw attention to the inimical impact of replacing active staff of the civil and local government services with political appointees, and putting such appointees in positions which are the exclusive reserve of the staff of the civil and local government services. The observation is that the unprofessional performance of these political appointees, coupled with the blatant disregard for laid down procedures, have contributed immensely to the poor state of the economy. Considering the large number of political appointees at the Ministry of Finance, for example, who have taken over the functions of active civil servants, it is no wonder that their bad decisions have culminated in the economic chaos of the country. There are also instances of party activists interfering in the work of the staff of the civil and local government service. An extreme case is the harassment of a district coordinating director who was literally dragged out of his office by party activists. There are also instances of lockouts and assaults of staff of the district assemblies across the country by party functionaries. These irresponsible acts are as a result of the disregard for the principles of neutrality, anonymity, and permanence as the hallmark of the two civil services. Unfortunately, the adherence to the principle of neutrality in the civil service and local government service has been viewed as a one-sided phenomenon instead of being two-sided. While the worker should be neutral and should not show any form of discrimination, partisanship, or bias in his work, the employer government is equally expected not to appoint political elements into the system.
Now, away from that, the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana, PFAG, says they are still angered by the government's decision to give permit to some organizations to import genetically modified organism, GMO foods, into the country. At the inaugural celebration of Peasant Farmers Day at Navrongo in the Upper East region, President of the association, Ofori-Atta Gwala, said they found it strange the government would make such a decision when many farmers have their produce rotting away on the farms without a ready market. Correspondent Albert Sori has more.
The Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana, PFAG, instituted the Peasant Farmers Day celebration to recognize the contribution of ordinary Ghanaian farmers to the development of the country. The maiden celebration was held at Navrongo here in the Upper East region, and the celebration will be held every year from now onwards. The two-day celebration began with a workshop where the peasant farmers were educated on agroecology farming to better position them to be able to apply natural farming methods. The workshop was held concurrently with an agribusiness exhibition. The second day of the Peasant Farmers Day celebration was used to award some of the farmers for their work in various areas of agriculture, with some of the award winners taking home prizes such as refrigerators, washing machines, television sets, and farm inputs. Despite their excitement, Some of the award winners said they faced many challenges.
I did sorghum, that was last year. And when I started harvesting, I had a problem because my crops were ready when the rains were still coming. So I had to put in extra strategies to make sure my yield didn't go bad. So I had to buy more tarpaulins, get more labor to help me do the harvesting. And in all, it was very, very well.
If it is a farm season, and a man is running after a tractor and a woman too is running after a tractor, it's the man who will get it first. We the women we normally get it late hour. And if you go into do the farming and you do it late, you will come and harvest low. You won't get a high yield.
The major challenges were pest infestations and also rainfall that came late in the season.
You need capital, you need fertilizer, you need insecticides and all those kind of things. So we really need support from government.
President of the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana, Wepia Awal Adugwala, said despite the challenges they go through, peasant farmers have managed to produce enough food to feed the country.
Since 2022, 21, 22, we are now, of course, we are in 24. The farmers have not had any form of support from government. And that is why, again, we are stating on this platform. If you look at the last season, for example, these farmers have been able to produce enough rice and enough maize, but there is no market for it. The farmers have produced enough rice, there is no market, and the high cost of production too is very high as we speak. If you go to the open market, fertilizer and other agrochemicals, the prices are so high.
He re-emphasized the peasant farmers' dissatisfaction with the government's decision to grant permits for some organizations to import genetically modified organisms, GMO foods, into the country.
With no form of support from government, yet they have been able to produce this. Maize is the same thing. Right now, our farmers are depending on Togolese and Burkinabés to come inside the country and buy the maize. So this came as a surprise to us when government, through the National Biosafety Authority, gave permits to some particular individuals or organizations to import GMO foods into this country. Particularly, they were looking at maize and then soybean. But for us, in Peasant Farmers Association, we have always cherished our traditional seeds. That is why we have indicated over the years, our scientists in Ghana are capable of using traditional breeding methods to improve upon the seeds we have.
Former Executive Director of the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana, Dr. Charles Inyaba, said one of the major reasons for instituting the Peasant Farmers Day celebration was that in the 17 years since the association was first formed, peasant farmers have been denied the recognition they deserve, sometimes due to political reasons.
Information reaching us from our members that in most occasions, even this Department of Agriculture who do assessment of best farmers, when they present the list to the district chief executive, they cross-check the names to see whether you belong to a particular political party. Once you don't belong to that party, they put your name aside, which we think food has no political colors. So what we are doing, our awardees lists are emanating from groups, the farmer groups themselves.
For Joy News, Albert Sorry, Navrongo.
Well, the Ghana Police Service has launched investigations into the shooting and subsequent death of a military officer at the Millennium City in Gomwa East of the Central Region. The police in a statement said it had arrested one suspect in connection with the shooting incident. The victim was allegedly shot dead while two other officers managed to escape. Further attacks after a sub-chief fired live bullet at them in front of Millennium City District Police Command over a land dispute. On your screens now is we're showing you videos of the vehicle in which the military man and his friends were sitting when he was shot at. So that was that's the video we're showing you there. But let's bring you a statement from the Ghana Police Service now. Now the Ghana Police Service says the service has arrested a man in connection with a shooting incident which occurred at Millennium City, Kaswa in the Central Region, leading to the death of a soldier. preliminary police investigation has established that the suspect, Ben Lord Ababio, allegedly shot the soldier at Millennium City, Kaswa, on Tuesday, 30th April 2024, at about 4:20 p.m. The victim sustained gunshot wounds and was rushed to the mother and child hospital at Kaswa for medical attention. However, he was later pronounced dead by the medical authorities. Suspect Ben Lord Ababio is currently in custody assisting police investigation. The leadership of the police service is in touch with the leadership of the Ghana Armed Forces as investigation into the incident continues. So we're still keeping an eye on that particular story, but we're told that as of now, calm has returned to the Millennium City, but still some residents are sitting on tenterhooks. We'll bring you some development on that. But moving on, 21-year-old Sarah Precious Akuto is charting uncharted waters as one of the rare women in the Western Naval Command diving wing. Her journey challenges stereotypes, showcasing her determination to thrive in a traditionally male-dominated domain. As part of May Day commemoration, Joy Prime's Prime Morning celebrates the gallant officers of the Ghana Navy Command and the Western Naval Command in Second Itakrade. Emmanuel Jevenu has more in a following report. Right to you.
Precious Akuto is one of only 3 women in the diving wing of the Western Naval Command. But her presence speaks volumes about breaking barriers and redefining norms.
The diving is not easy because my passion for it. And we all say what men can do better.
Sarah's journey into Navy diving was not without its challenges. The training pushed her to her limits, both physically and mentally. But Sarah's resolve carried her through.
Comes up and doesn't give an okay sign, the dive supervisor have to caution, and if there's any problem, pull the person out of the water as quickly as possible.
The training is not easy, it's tough, but I train my mind to make it best. My experience so far, when you go under the water, you can face a lot of challenges. You can see maybe submarine, a lot of things, but you need to comport yourself. What's coming up, you need to be calm, brave.
Underwater, divers face a myriad of challenges, from tangled equipment to the dense pressure threatening to crush their lungs. But with each obstacle, Sarah remains calm and brave, a demonstration of her training.
Although I'm not like this, but I would say it's the training. So you need to tune your mind. In everything, you need to have a passion for it. Tune your mind, make it best, so that the outcome will be great.
For Sarah, diving is not just a job. It's a calling. It is a reminder that with passion and perseverance, anything is possible. As she continues to explore the depths of the ocean, Sarah Precious Akuto serves as an inspiration to all. Emmanuel Jivenu's report for Joy Prime.
And in an unrelenting effort to make Sekedi Takrade the cleanest assembly in the Western region, the Sekedi Takrade Metropolitan Assembly, in collaboration with the Joy News Operation Clean Your Surroundings Task Force, has apprehended 10 individuals for openly defecating in public places across the metropolis. Our correspondent Nathalie Konsa has more in a following report.
Corporates Francis Anderson, Adam Yusuf, Kropa Wilson, Ishmael Jackson, George Abra, Robert Olu, Sadiq Zakaria, Francis Dumson, Michael Thompson, and David Enu were all arrested. The arrest is in accordance with the Assembly's efforts to reduce open defecation in the metropolis to ensure a clean and hygienic environment for its people. The Metro Environmental Health Officer, Abdul Karim Wudu, who led the task force, said the Assembly is very committed to eradicating open defecation in the metropolis.
We have arrested 10 of them. Today there is no female. The areas that we have arrested them is Namasi, that is Sekedi, New Takrade, and other places. So we were able to put them in the cells. And our sports fine is for them to pay 400 each, and then we release them. Yes, they have paid, or as at now, as I'm speaking, they have all paid for F100, and we have released them. Then we have taken pictures of them. Next time we get another person or the same person that we arrested this one, that one we are not going to take the spot fine. We are going to prosecute that fellow.
He added that according to Section 14 of the Assembly's bylaw on solid and liquid waste management, no person shall defecate or urinate in any public or open place other than in an approved toilet facility. Hence, offenders of this bylaw will not only be made to pay a fee, but given hard labor at a public facility.
Everyone who defecate, who throw rubbish, who urinate openly, you are warned. The law doesn't permit that. Please, this is from that. As I've been saying, if you do that, meaning you are killing people softly. Yes, diseases that you are spreading. Diseases like communicable disease that you are spreading to the public. So please, this is from that. When we get you, we will not spare you. Yes, this morning when they started around 3 something, the first person that they arrested, he had to spoil all the vehicle that they have. He defecated around all, so they have to bath him and then put him in the cell. So now they have released them. We will continue to arrest people until they stop. If not, we will continue to arrest, and if you pay the spot fine, if we continue to arrest and you pay the spot fine, we'll give you another work to do so that people will see you. We will send you somewhere in a gutter, in a public place to disgrace you. They ask, we say, oh, they defecated this place, that's why we are doing that. That is name and shame. That's what we are going to do.
The Operation Clean Your Surrounding campaign will continue to enforce the Assembly's environmental sanitation bylaws and encourage citizens to be responsible for their action. For Joy News, in Athalia Kwansa, Takoradi.
We'll take a quick break here. We'll be back with more. Please do stay. Let's do business now. And Glyco Capital has launched the Glyco Fixed Income Fund. The Glyco Fixed Income Fund is an open-ended mutual fund that focuses on highly liquid assets with an initial offering of 400,000 shares at 0.50 pesos per share and a minimum investment of 100 shares. According to Managing Director of the Glyco Capital, Ofori-Atta, the move by the company is yet to ensure innovation within the investment space. He spoke to Joy Business at the launch.
The Glyco Fixed Income Fund seeks to maximize short-term income while ensuring immediate liquidity by investing in a diversified portfolio of fixed income securities. The fund is an open-ended fixed income mutual fund which invests primarily in highly liquid assets.
We have to go through about 2 years to get this fund registered. And as a fund manager, it's a clean and a new fund. Yes, we know we've had issues in the past. And that's why for this very fund, we will ensure that we have a portfolio that is well diversified to ensure that when there's any issue, our investors will have the kind of liquidity and the support they need anytime they want to withdraw from this fund. Yes, we've had issues in the past, but this fund has been structured in a way that there are controls and we do proper credit and risk assessment before we do our placement, to ensure that the customers or the wherever we do our investment, the right risk assessments has been done, and we ensure and get the right controls in place so ensure that when the funds matures, they are able to repay us.
Deputy Director General in charge of legal at the Securities and Exchange Commission, Deborah Mausi Ajimfra, reiterated the need for more sensitization program for investors.
Mutual funds are a potent tool in this endeavor, offering a pathway to wealth accumulation accessible to individuals from all financial backgrounds. That's why the 50 pesos is very interesting, all financial backgrounds. As we navigate this dynamic landscape, embracing the potential of mutual funds can empower us to seize opportunities and to safeguard our financial future. The Securities and Exchange Commission is a strong advocate for financial inclusion and recognizes the transformative potential of collective investment schemes. These schemes provide a diversified platform that empowers both retail and institutional investors to build wealth and financial security.
Additional shares in the fund will be created and purchased on demand by investors on an ongoing basis. The price of these shares will be computed according to VES offer prospectus. All investment income earned will be reinvested in the fund.
So that's all in business. Up next is sports, and Razak Muzwa is here. Razak, what's up in sports?
Yeah, man, it's been just about a month since Ghana hosted the rest of Africa in the African Games. Well, in this special report, we bring you a recap of the major incidents in the competition.
The Accra 2023 Games had it all, from athletes in buckets.
We sat in our coach's vehicle and it was a pickup. So most of us, like 8 players, were in the bucket. We didn't get any transport. We host nation, Ghana.
Punches and best tubes.
Me tube. You almost 2 races na a blast here.
To the medals.
I'm looking forward to more medals, not only in swimming, in all the other competitions.
And of course, the custodians. This is a story of the $289 million African Games.
Money makes the world go round. And despite going through austerity, Ghana made a splash on the African Games. That's Legon Stadium hosted the opening ceremony of the Games. Challenges with the ticketing system affected the attendance for that ceremony. Otherwise, it was a wonderful ceremony that captured Ghana's rich culture in all of its glory. With that out of the way, the Games began. Or should I say, the problems began.
It all started with badminton. Delays in the arrival of materials and equipment required for the setup for the venue forced the local organizing committee to reschedule the start of the badminton competition from the 3rd to the 7th of March. Things escalated when the badminton team crashed out of the competition on March 10. If results were disappointing, the backstories were worse.
The equipment that we got didn't even come
the times we really have nobody has trained the equipment, nothing. The rackets, nothing. The racket I used to play a tournament. I got it just a day, and I've never tested it. The shoe I was size 47. They gave me 36. How am I going to use it for? We don't sit today. We come to play our matches. We sat in our coach's vehicle, and it was a pickup. So most of us, like 8 players, were in the bucket. We didn't get any transport. We host nation, Ghana. The
LOC had 336 vehicles for the Africa Games. So how did the badminton team not have any at their disposal? Ivan Zieboa is the president of the Ghana Badminton Federation.
Early morning, the athletes in question had a match for 8 a.m. As per rules and per usual protocol, they are always assisted with the bus and with the motor. As you know, badminton is staying out of the village because our practice court is closer, it's at Tamant. So on that morning of that day, because of time constraint, the bus that they were using actually had broken down on the expressway. So what happened was the coach, in his own wisdom, decided to get to the ball quite early at 8 a.m. So it was basically the coach's decision to be able to bus them as an interim measure to the ball that early morning of 8 a.m. At the end of the day, the regular bus schedule continued to take care of them, as it has been doing from the 3rd of March, and that there was no problem. Again, Professor Motayo, since the news broke out, he's been the team psychologist with us. Those of you who know him, he's a very versed international psychologist. He's worked on them, and emotionally the team is basically great, and things are moving on to the next schedules that we have after this competition.
Addo's outburst opened the floodgates for Ghana's athletes who until then had been as silent as the grave. Michael Sam, captain of the table tennis team, blamed his failure to progress to the round of 32 in the men's singles competition on poor preparations.
The player I play with, they have experience in this competition. They've been to a lot of competitions. Currently, they just returned from World Championship in South Korea. And then if you look at the speed, they're a bit fast, you know. And so my loss contributed to the fact that they are very sharp, and then their speed level was also high.
So you're not used to that level?
I'm used to, but currently, you know, table tennis is a game that when you play most matches, you gain more experience and the sharpness is there. Once you don't participate in most of the competition, you feel like your reflexes and other things are, you know, a bit low. So that is why I lost that much.
You think that was bad? Just wait for what followed.
A day before the press conference, the cycling competition at Ulebu had delayed because, and there's no other way to put this, there was no fuel for the ambulance.
The riders have been this way for the past 15-20 minutes. There is no ambulance to begin the race. And in cycling, without ambulance, the race cannot be effective. So you can just imagine all the officials are worried. These are the officials, the PCP, and all the officials who can actually make the race happen. And the police and everybody here, everybody is worried and disturbed.
When the event eventually started, Ghana's cycling champion Michael Naba withdrew from the race due to a malfunctioning bicycle.
What is wrong? I can see the Ghanaian, his path on the left side of the road.
Naba and his mates in the cycling team were given no carbon fiber bicycles and had to rely on their old aluminium bikes.
Well, me started, you know, my bike in FLE, me tube. I want no ma, you almost 2 races na a blast here, just because me need better tube. Me tube and me do training, and one I me use it for competition.
Sports Minister Mustafa Yusuf blamed the Cycling Federation for not requesting the necessary equipment.
I did state that the ministry and the LOC, the local organizing committee, we requested all the sporting federation to submit their requirements. What do you need for this competition? You've been selected as part of the sporting code for the competition. I've just mentioned that basketball submitted their list. And we went through with them. We have procured all the equipment for them. So if you are the Cycling Federation, we requested and you know that you needed a fiber bicycle, not aluminum bicycle, it is your responsibility as a federation to submit your list to us, and we'll get, if you cannot get all, we'll buy. When we went to, I remember when we went to Tokyo, they requested for bicycle, and we bought it for them.
The Cycling Federation then hit back when they published correspondence suggesting they had requested for the equipment as far back as July 2023.
Sack me. Sack me. It's too much. Every day they sack. Still, I'm standing here. Sack me.
There was more embarrassment for Ghana as power was disconnected from the Cape Coast Sports Stadium midway through the Black Princesses' opening match versus Ethiopia.
Okay, let's go. So, Dumso had arrived at the African Games and in style. Weeping, they say, may endure for the night, but joy comes in the morning. And so it was that on the 10th of March, Winifred Ntumi produced the first of Ghana's medals, 2 silver and gold, in the women's weightlifting event. There was a repeat of her exploits at the last African Games in 2019, where she won Ghana's first 3 medals. In the same year, she won bronze in the women's 49 kg at the African Championships in Cairo and bronze at the 2021 Commonwealth weightlifting in Tashkent. Ghana's next medal came from Abeku Jackson. After a decade of competing for Ghana, the 2-time Olympian recorded a personal best of 24.23 seconds.
I feel excited, especially hearing weightlifting won their first medal coming to these games. It motivated me in a way, and I would like to say thank you to everyone. Thank you to my family, my friends, everyone who has supported me, my coaches, my former coaches in Ghana, my current coaches now. I'd just like to say thank you to everyone.
Like Oliver Twist, the sports minister, Mustafa Yusuf, wanted more medals. He said the country had invested to ensure the athletes had quality preparations, and it was time they paid back through their performances.
I'm looking forward to more medals, not only in swimming, in all the other competitions. And that's why we gave them more opportunity, especially for camping period. And I'm super excited that Abeku is giving us medals. And we are expecting more athletes to put in more effort to get us medals.
Just when it looked like Ghana was turning the corner, things got turned over at the Labuma beach. Seydou Ajanoko, a military officer who had been called out of retirement to compete in the beach volleyball competition, questioned the lack of logistical support for the team.
You know, all our toes are full of blisters because of the heat of the sun. We didn't get all these things, you know, so that can also affect you.
You didn't get what?
The sun socks. Yes. And then also in camp, right, and in the village, every treatments are going on all right, but that should have been before. During our preparation, we should have a massage therapist, nutritionist, and the others. It's all departments that come together to give the result. Yes. So we lacked some few things.
Beyond the poor performances, officials and athletes engaged in a mat slinging contest. It was nasty. Ghana needed some positive news. The games needed it. Up stepped Ghana's arm wrestling team. They delivered 41 medals in 2 days of the arm wrestling competition. And just like that, Ghana's medal haul no longer looked shabby.
By the time the athletics event started on March 18, the exploits of Abeku Jackson, Winifred Ntumi, and the arm wrestling team had created a feel-good factor. Scores of Ghanaians turned up to watch the athletes, but the main attraction were sprinters Joseph Polamwa, Edwin Gadai, and Benjamin Azamati. So everything seemed to be set for Azamati to erect the Arch of Glory until
100 meters. Here they go, off to a great start. Ghana's Benjamin Azamati is off to a really good turn, but Insurite is coming. So is Eseme. Look at Insurite. It's Eseme who's going to win. Insurite comes through in second. And the gentleman out in lane 1 will take the bronze medal. But Emmanuel Eseme, without a doubt, he was the big favorite. The Cameroonian and he has delivered. Emmanuel Eseme is the African Games champion.
Azamati finished 5th in the final with a time of 10.45 seconds, while teammates Barnabas Aguirre ran 10.50 seconds to take 6th place.
People should know when they're conquered.
What do you, Quintus? What
And so we went again, this time in the 4x100 meters. But unlike the Roman army in Vindobona, there was no turnaround in fortunes.
And off they go, there's no turning back now. The final of the men's 4x100 meter relay. The Nigerians are going very strongly. Edwin Gadai is already being caught, but on their back straight for Ghana is Benjamin Azamati. But Nigerians, Okon is also running really well. Very well run. Somehow Hammond is being handed over by Benjamin Azamati. Hammond is going up against Alaba Olokule of Nigeria. This is it now. The Empolite is Shorishi. Oh, the Ghanaians have. Oh, it looked like they were dropping the baton, but they did it. It's Shorishi against Joseph Polamo. It's a race for 1 and 2. Ghana, Nigeria have got it. Just on the line. They have exacted revenge on the Ghanaians.
Following a mix-up in the last baton changeover, Ghana had to settle for 2nd place. The time of 38.43 seconds was bettered by Team Nigeria, who ran 38.41 seconds. It was marginal, 0.02 seconds, and it was painful. Nigeria, however, did not care. They had finally avenged their loss to Ghana at the Africa Games in 2003 in Lagos.
There was more disappointment, this time for the LOC. South Africa's hockey teams had withdrawn from the hockey competition at the African Games, citing concerns over the poor conditions of the pitch at the Theodosia Okoh Stadium in Accra and the persistent changes to the tournament schedule. But their claims were quickly shut down by the continent's governing body for the sport, Hockey Africa.
It's 1.94, which he set last year at the World University Games, competing for the University of Cape Coast. And that's the national record at 1.90. Rosie Yeboah, and she's cleared it! Oh!
Back at Legon, Ghanaian high jumper Rosie Yeboah delighted the home crowd when she cleared a height of 1.90 meters at the University of Ghana Stadium on March 19 to win gold. That was her 2nd gold medal for Ghana at the Africa Games, having won gold in Rabat back in 2019.
In Cape Coast, there was more to cheer for Ghana as the Black Princesses reached the final of the women's football tournament after beating Senegal by 3-1. In front of a packed 15,000-seater Cape Coast Stadium, Ghana faced Nigeria in the final. With 10 minutes to go, Ghana were trailing by a goal. Up stepped Trace Chum to force extra time with the leveler. Then Abdullahi Mukarama did this.
Chance for Ghana. Here is Mukarama! Ghana in the lead in extra time. It is Mukarama Abdullahi. She's shot Ghana in the lead from a goal down. The Black Princesses are within a touching distance of the gold medal.
The Princesses had silenced Ghana's noisy neighbors. This was Coach Yusuf Basigi's 2nd gold medal in women's football at the African Games, having first won gold in 2015 at the same competition in Congo-Brazzaville. For their efforts, the people of Cape Coast showed their appreciation at full time. But the ministry did not. The Princesses received their per diems, but not their winning bonuses. To make matters worse, the Sports Ministry and the LSE informed the team that the $3,000 initially promised all gold medal winners did not apply to team sports. The Princesses were told that the ministry would settle on an amount and pay at a later date. The ministry is yet to honor its promise as we speak.
In Accra, their male counterparts, the Black Satellites, also qualified for the final after beating Senegal by 1-0.
Forward, he has Ndiaye to beat it. 3 years able to get the ball in play, and Ghana may have a chance! The Ghanaians have scored, and guess what? The Samatex player, the man who scored the only goal.
Ghanaians were beginning to believe. A good number of them made their
Well, very beautiful piece put together by the Joy Sports team. More of that will be played in our subsequent bulletins. But for now, that's all in this bulletin. There's more news on myjoyonline.com. My name is Samuel Kojo Brace. On behalf of the team, please do enjoy the rest of your evening.